Okay, the Heatable engineer has been at my house for the last few days and just wanted to do a quick overview of the installation that's been carried out. So, as you can see here, is the new boiler that's been installed. So this is a Viessmann Vitterdens 050W. And we had the existing flow and return pipework here that previously went up to the cylinder to handle both central heating and hot water. That's been repurposed for just the central heating system now, and the installer has put new pipework in for the cold water supply to the Combi and also the hot water feed out of the Combi as well. Really impressed with the quality of the install. He was a really nice guy, happy to just crack on, but came to me whenever there were questions. He was particularly careful when it came to laying out the pipe work so that it wouldn't encroach too much into the worktop for the kitchen surface here, and also keeping all of the pipe work where possible in the corner and at high level. We had hoped, or he had hoped initially, to use the existing core cut hole that had been in place for the previous flue for the previous boiler, but he explained to me that the way this was lined up, the boiler would just sit far too low down on the worktop, and he was concerned that that would interfere with the kitchen. So he gladly offered to actually core cut a new flue hole, and has done a really nice job of bricking that up on the outside. So from a pipework point of view, like I said, these two up here, flow and return, were existing. All of this pipework here is new, and this pipework here is run under the sink, or under the counter I should say. So we have a tap in for, this is the main incoming water, so that's tapped in to this pipe here. We have a hot feed to the rest of the house. So this was the existing hot feed to the kitchen basin, which he's tapped into, which is in 15mm copper, same for the water supply. And then this white PVC pipe here is the condensate drain, which he's plumbed into my existing waste. From a controls point of view, I went for the standard EPH controller that Heatable offer. This is an open therm compatible controller, and comes with a wireless programmer and thermostat. I'll probably keep this for the time being, just to get me over the line over the next few weeks, but I do plan to upgrade this in the near future, maybe to a Drayton controller, or even a Tado smart controller. So like I said, really impressed with the quality of the installation. I have a little bit of work to do here to remake the cabinet, to refit the door. But what I'll do now is I'll just flip over to the previous cylinder cupboard and to show off the changes that have been made there. And whilst I'm here, I'll go through each one of the pipes underneath the boiler here. So starting on the left, we have the flow out to the central heating system. So that's this 22mm copper pipe here. We then have, which one's this? This is the hot water out. So this is in 15mm copper, and that's one of the pipes that I showed you under the sink. You've then got the cold water supply in, which is coming into here. This serves two purposes for this boiler. So as it's a Combi boiler, this is the water that's heated and then is distributed through the hot water system in the house. But also through this filling loop, when both of these valves are open, it's used to actually fill the central heating pipework as well. You've then got the gas supply here, and this is 22mm up to the boiler. But actually, if you do look behind here, he's utilised the previous connection for the gas supply, which is actually 15mm, and he was quite comfortable that a 15mm supply was okay, given that on the other side of this wall, the gas meter pipework, or I should say the supply into the house from the gas meter, is all 22mm up to just the other side of this wall. So really it's something like less than a metre where there's a 15mm pipework. So he was quite comfortable with that and ran the relevant pressure tests and gave me the green light. Moving on then, the final pipe is the central heating return. And this central heating return pipe has the drain off position and also the magnetic filter element for the central heating loop as well. What I'll do now is just pop upstairs quickly and show you the cylinder cupboard. So, relatively new space created here. So I plan to put some shelves up or maybe some poles for hanging some clothes. I need to put some carpet down or otherwise sort this out and give this area some TLC. But in terms of what the gas engineer completed, he's linked through the primary flow to the central heating supply. I had thought also he would need to loop through a return because this is the return pipework here, but of course this stub is only really used, or was only really used, to connect the hot water cylinder loop back to the system. So the return feed for the central heating is probably elsewhere in the property, so that's capped off. We then have domestic hot water, which is also capped off, no longer required, and the cold mains, which is no longer needed because the Combi boiler is being directly fed the mains through the pipework I showed you earlier. The only other pipe remaining then is the drain that was previously here for the pressure release system. He had actually removed some of this pipework. I'd asked him to not cap this one off because I may use this in the future for a condensate drain for an air conditioning system. So the way he's left that is open. I might just put a compression fitting loosely over the top just to at least cover this over for, you know, any debris or anything to fall into it. But yeah, brand new space. He also removed all of the programming wiring, which was in a wiring center here, and that's all been cut out and safely isolated and removed. And the immersion heater has been removed as well, so that's now redundant, and actually that supply was already feeding a separate supply to my loft, so that now is exclusively a supply directly from the consumer unit for my loft, which is another added bonus. So again, impressed at how neat he's managed to keep that. Everything's capped off and good to go. If there's any questions at all or anything I've missed, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try my best to get back to you. Thanks.